Welcome back to An Audience of One by Gendiversity, in which we deliver spiritually uplifting and motivational content to individuals who need a reminder that they have worth, that they have value, and they have a gift that they need to share with the world once they live up to their true potential. And that regardless of how many mistakes you've made, that it's never too late to make today the day that you go ahead and change your life. When we make a commitment to go ahead and change our lives, that first step can seem like it's going to be the most daunting. The most likely scenario is that you feel as if you've made too many mistakes. You've crossed the line too many times. You've made too many transgressions. You're too far past gone. And so essentially you've just given up. That there's no action that you can do at this point in time that's going to make the slightest bit of difference. So you've given up. Or you've told yourself over and over again that someday when things get right, when things get a little bit better, I'm going to take those first steps to change my life for the better. And while this may appear that you've decided to change, you're just putting it off until a better time comes around, the reality is that you've just committed to remaining in the state that you're in. And that's in part because there is no better time than right now. Sure, maybe the best time would have been 5 years ago, 6 months ago, but the next best time is right now. And putting it off any longer isn't going to do you any favors. But taking that first step of saying, enough is enough, today is the day that I'm going to start making these changes, and then acting upon that decision can seem like a really daunting task. It's often said that the first step is the hardest step, and that's because that inertia can be a really hard thing to overcome. That being said, all of the conviction in the world, all of your faith in God, all of your prayers, all of your good deeds is not going to change the fact that even after you take that first step and start putting your decision into action, it doesn't change the fact that this journey is going to be an extremely difficult process. You essentially, first and foremost, are going to war with yourself. There's so much self-doubt that you're going to continue to have to battle as you move along through your process. Can you make it? Should you give up? Are you too old? Is it too late? You should have done this years ago. No one's ever going to accept you. You're going to end up being alone, and your efforts aren't even going to amount to anything. You're also going to have to deal with that demon creeping back into your head saying, look back at what you did. Look at all of those mistakes. Look at everything that you should have done but didn't do. Trying to drag you back into the abyss and convince you that you're not worthy of forgiveness and that you don't deserve a better life. You also have to deal with the fact that over the years, you've accumulated a lot of bad habits that are going to be really tough to shake by themselves. Even if you do push forward, you're going to get to those points where you feel as if, you know what, I've been making a lot of progress. I can relax a little bit. I can take some days off. I can ease up. I can indulge a little, all of which can start that slippery slope of falling back into all of the things that you just crawled out of. You also have to deal with all the people that are around you. The ones that are telling you that you suck, the ones that want to bring up your past, even the ones that are telling you, hey, you're fine the way you are. Don't be so hard on yourself. Take it easy. And that's not even taking into consideration the random people that you're going to have to be dealing in your daily interactions in your life, from the guy who cuts you off in traffic to your annoying coworkers, boss, or customers. You're going to have to deal with all of these distractions and all of these detractors, all while trying to chase your goal of spiritual, personal, financial, and relational development. You have goals that you want to accomplish because you want to be an exceptional person. Well, the path is going to be difficult because if it wasn't, then doing so wouldn't be exceptional. Nothing worthwhile in this world is going to be easy to attain. So you have to come to the understanding that your path is going to be difficult. And whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, regardless of whether it's dropping the vices that you've picked up along the way that have been holding you back, or forming positive habits, whether it's exercising, stretching, reading, waking up, or going to bed early, or eating healthy, those things are all going to come with their own difficulties. Because your desires are naturally going to want to cut corners and take days off. And you're also going to have to deal with all of the opposing factors and desires which are pulling you away from the direction of where you're trying to go with your goals. The consistency required to accomplish anything is going to be challenging. And that's before you start talking about the fact that nobody tries to accomplish any goal in a vacuum. All of these habits that you want to change and all of these goals that you want to achieve have to be accomplished in the world that we're living in. And as sad as it may be, unfortunately, the world isn't conspiring to grant you success. And there's a lot of people out there that would actually like to see you fail. Even the ones that might not actively be trying to sabotage you or put you down certainly aren't out there spending any of their time or energy to see you succeed. So during this process, you have to try and strive day in and day out to accomplish your goals and maintain your character, maintain your spiritual connection with God, while being blasted by all of these different problems that are going to be hitting you throughout the day that you didn't expect when you went to bed at night, but here they are waiting for you when you wake up. You've got debt, you've got bills to pay, you're not getting along with your wife, you don't have time to spend with your kids, you don't have time for your goals, your coworkers are annoying, your manager's a jerk, your check engine light comes on, the politics of the world are insane, the economy is down, you're driving by the liquor store, people are offering you drugs, people are offering you themselves, your family mistreats you, your friends, if they ever were friends, abandon you, and the hits just keep on coming and coming and coming. You're trying to go out there and better yourself day after day, and it feels like the whole world's screaming at you, not today. You want to be great? You have to realize that there must be some process by which somebody becomes great. Nobody's born great. It's how they react and overcome the obstacles that they face in their life and how they deal with the opportunities that are presented to them, which makes them great. No one gets a medal for waking up in the morning, even though in your life, even that seems hard sometimes. But the reality is that life is difficult. It's not supposed to be easy. And anybody telling you otherwise is selling something. There's plenty of frauds out there telling you, buy my course and you'll be rich. I made $1 gazillion in X amount of hours and the secret to happiness. Success isn't X amount of dollars or a mansion or a yacht or taking pictures in all of these exotic places. Success is doing what you said you were going to do. And happiness isn't attained through the accumulation of things. So you're going to have to battle each and every single day for what it is that you want, regardless of whether it's from yourself or from the world. You're going to have to battle the mental challenges that your mind throws at you. You're going to have to battle the physical challenges that your body presents you, all the while fending off the challenges that the world throws your way in order to trip you up. If you wanted somebody to become physically strong, you're going to put them under physical stress so that their muscles can be strained and then repair themselves and come back stronger. If you want to build your character and your spirituality, then you're going to have to put yourself under stress so that your patience and your perseverance and your trust in God can grow and become stronger. You say that you want this? Well, how bad do you really want it? Because God is going to test you. Believe in him or not. You call it the universe, call it whatever you want. You're going to be tested. So how are you going to respond? Are you going to show God that you really do want it and put in the effort and put in the work and face whatever may come? Or are you going to say, well, I liked the idea of success, but I really wasn't interested in going through all that. Again, what are we striving for? Are you striving for the product or are you striving for the process? Do you just like the status that disciplined people have? Do you like the results that they attain? Or do you like the discipline itself? I want to be cool, I want to be calm, I want to be collected, no matter the circumstances. Well, the only way to develop those characteristics is to put you in situations that would make you otherwise. You see somebody and you say, man, nothing seems to faze that guy. Well, what do you think that individual went through? What did they see in order to create a persona in which the things that would make you crumble don't even seem to faze them? You get pummeled by the world, and your first questions go directly to, does God hate me? Am I being punished? Maybe it is because you're doing the wrong thing, and God's sending you a wake-up call, trying to direct you to get back on the right path. But maybe it's not the anger of God. Maybe it's not God trying to smack you around a little bit to redirect you to get back on the right path. Maybe it's God giving you the opportunities to become exactly what you asked for. Maybe your goals require somebody who's capable of walking it alone without the reinforcement from a cheerleading squad of friends. Well, what better way to prepare you for that than to remove from your life all those who you thought were in your corner? If you're doing the right thing and you're striving in the right direction, yet you feel like you're just being faced with trial after trial after trial, maybe it's not that God is trying to punish you or redirect you. Maybe it's just that God is trying to help you develop the characteristics that are needed to walk that path. The steel must be put into the fire, folded, and banged between the hammer and the anvil in order to be forged. You've got to ask yourself, what exactly are you trying to forge yourself into? The more you embrace this process of forging, the stronger your soul is going to be, the stronger your character is going to be. So you have to ask yourself, how strong do you want to be? Do you only want to be tested a little? Are you going to break down during the process? Are you only looking to be straightened out a little, but not too much? Or are you going to embrace the process of being constantly thrown into the fire and pulled out and banged between the hammer and the anvil, only to be occasionally cooled off in the water, and then have it done over and over and over again until you become more of a finished product? And this analogy is only so good as in life, the process never ends, not if you're trying to consistently improve and better yourself. Even if you're forged into this new person capable of great things, that sword is still constantly going to need to be resharpened as it gets banged and nicked during the process of you trying to do the great things that you're trying to accomplish. So things may get easier once you're no longer being thrown directly into the fire in the beginning stages when you're really battling all of the difficulties that you're facing. But once you start acting as this new person that you're trying to become, those challenges are not going to go away. They're just going to come in different forms. Anything that comes easy is of little value. Great accomplishments come from overcoming great obstacles. So how great do you want to become? Are you satisfied with being mediocre? If that's the case, then understandable. But if you're trying to do big things, you better anticipate big challenges. And so you should embrace these obstacles that are put in your life, because they're not just obstacles, they're opportunities for you to grow into the person that you're trying to become. Any attribute that you desire is going to require you to go through tests and trials that are going to test that characteristic. You'll need trials that require patience in order to develop patience. You're going to need trials that require perseverance in order to develop perseverance. Likewise, you're going to require trials that test your faith and trust in God in order to develop your faith and trust in God. And every one of these attributes has levels to it. And so if you're trying to develop one of these traits to a high level, you're going to have to face challenges that are at a higher level. These trials are not there to destroy you. They're not there to punish you. They are merely weights that you must lift in order to grow. And as you become stronger in your characteristics, in your spirituality, in your personal goals, you're going to have to lift heavier weights. You have to commit to the process with the understanding that not only is it going to be difficult, but it's supposed to be that way. And that difficulty is not meant as a punishment, but it is meant as an opportunity. Know that complacency has no weights to lift, but complacency has no greatness to gift. And while what doesn't kill you won't necessarily make you stronger, but it gives you the opportunity to become so.